How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to the Enclave. So, today we are going to be starting with our shotgun theory section. I figured I would choose the shotgun first over the self-loading rifle and the bolt-action rifle because you can actually get a shotgun or a handgun on your Section 13 self-defense license. So it is possible on your first license to get either a handgun or a shotgun, but not a bolt-action rifle or the self-loading rifle for self-defense. So I figured it would be the next most common gun, I suppose, that people are going to be using. That being said, there are a lot of sections of the books that are the same. So we are going to be skipping over Module 1, which is the law, because it is exactly the same word for word. So if you've done the handgun, you will know how to do the shotgun law section. If you haven't done the handgun, just go and watch my Module 1 handgun video, and that will go through this first law section. Otherwise, let us move on to Module 2, Safety. So, some of you will remember seeing this image here, where we talked about identifying safe directions. Just like with the handgun, you want to aim at a 45-degree angle, preferably where the floor and the wall intercept. Note, I do just want to say, there is one major difference when it comes to the shotgun versus either of the other three guns. And that is that the shotgun shell, unless you're using slugs, is not a single piece. And even if you are using slugs, there's still a wad, there's still a few other components that actually leave the projectile, or actually leave the casing, I should say. So, when you're looking at something like an SGG, which I'm sure a lot of you will be thinking what the actual hull is, it's an SSG. Basically, if we skip way ahead to this page here, you will see a graph of basically information on shots. This is on page 39, really are jumping ahead. So, okay, I used a bad example on the SSG. It's only got 16 shots in the cartridge. But if you were to shoot that and you had a concrete floor and a concrete wall, what can happen is that the wad actually stays with the pellets for a distance, and then the actual shot will spread after a distance. But if you were to put that shell into your wall at 2 meters from the wall, you would have, in the case of a number 9 shot, 656 projectiles plus a wad bouncing around, because they don't have the penetrative capabilities to immediately embed themselves in the wall. So if you take, for instance, a 223 or 556, pretty much the same cartridge, or a 7x62, and you plug that into the wall at 2 meters, it's going to plug into the wall. It's not likely to ricochet at that distance because of the amount of energy that is going to hit the wall. But with shotguns, that is not quite the case. So especially with things like the number 9, the pellet is tiny. It's tiny. And yeah, those are not going to have the weight and the velocity to actually penetrate into the wall. Maybe some of them will, like I'm sure someone in the comments will be able to dispute what I'm saying, but it is something that I sort of noticed when doing my shotgun test, is that if you get to actually see that wad fly, it's quite a spectacular thing. So when the wad hits the target, it just takes like a chunk. But when the shot has managed to separate from the wad before hitting the target, you can see those pellets flying around. And I could say in a close proximity, it might be very dangerous, especially if you're not wearing eye protection or a full body armored suit. But anyway, I digress. But that is the same. The safety rules are the same. Anyway, what I did want to say there is that if possible, aim for a softer target. So still abide by the 45 degree, but aim for dirt, sand, water, things like that will absorb those pellets. That is basically my main takeaway from that. So if you were standing in a car park, for instance, next to a river or something, you'd have three options. You'd have the concrete of the car park, you'd have the dirt or whatever between the car park and the lake or river or whatever, and you'd then have the river. You would absolutely want to use the river as your safe direction, because even with the dirt, if it hits a rock, things like that, you can still have ricochets. So you always want to find, with the shotgun in particular, a softer stop for those pellets to actually come to a safe stop. Once again, the safety rules: always keep the firearm pointed in a safe direction, always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire, always treat your firearm as if it were loaded, even if it's a toy, and always know your target and what is beyond it. So that is quite simply simple. On to safety precautions. So once again, I feel like I'm going to say this a million times, I apologize in advance. The safety precautions, when to carry out a safety precaution, is exactly the same for all firearms. Before handing the firearm over, when receiving a firearm, and before cleaning the firearm. Those are universal. That is when you perform safety checks on any firearm: shotgun, rifle, pistol, carbine, anything. So basically it is quite simple. Unfortunately, of all the props I've got, I do not have a shotgun or a bolt action rifle toy or airsoft gun or whatever. Maybe I'll buy them just for demonstration purposes. So we've got the Scar here. We're gonna pretend this is the fore-end. Chick chick. You actually do get shotguns that cock like that. They're really cool. So anyway, let's drop the mag. Make it look a little bit less AR-y. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to identify a safe direction. We're going to point the firearm in the safe direction, fingers off the trigger, or finger off the trigger. I don't know why the hell I had two fingers there. Finger off the trigger. Then, depending on the condition of the shotgun, you will need to basically depress a little button. In the book, it shows that the button is here, basically in front of the trigger guard. On the shotgun I used, it was not there. It was basically here. Don't know if you guys could see that there. So it was pretty much just under the stock of the shotgun, basically. So what you do then is you depress that button, You then, trying to keep this all on camera, you then pull the fore end back, which will then expose the chamber. If there is a round in there, it will eject the round. Otherwise, you can then basically return the fore end forward and you have checked your shotgun. Pretty easy. Yeah, so that is it. Like, super quick and easy, super simple. The safety catch. So the safety catches for the shotgun can be quite interesting. So as you will see on this AR platform, we have a switch. So basically you have safe, you have semi-auto, where when you pull the trigger you will have one shot, one shot, one shot, one shot, and we then have full auto, where you just hold it down and God does the rest, you know. So yeah, with the shotgun, what you will often have is a pin style, like a pin style safety. So if you look on the side, you'll see all these little black pins. There's one there, there's one there, there's one there. So basically what will happen is you'll push this pin in and you will see a green sort of indicator on the opposite side. Then when you push it from the other side and it comes forward, you will see a red indicator. Obviously your green is safe, your red is fire. So that is something you will do with your instructors. That's not something to worry about. It is just something I wanted to note, is that I didn't have a fun time working with the safety catch and the fore end release button, because I was sort of expecting it to be a thing that you like push to the side or whatever, but it was like this tiny little button that you actually had to change your grip to use. So I thought, a little bit painful, but it is what it is. Anyways, so general safety and range safety, those are once again going to be the same. PPE, you are absolutely going to need to understand that PPE stands for personal protective equipment. Okay, pretty quick and simple there. Ear and eye protection, again, this is universal through all the tests. You do need to understand that in an indoor environment, earplugs are not enough. You need ear muffs or proper noise cancelling ear protection to protect your inner ear bones from vibrations. So that is a universal thing. You are absolutely going to want to know that throughout any of your tests. Safe carry condition. So it is recommended for the shotgun that you not carry with a round in the chamber. So unlike with the handgun where we had 4 or 5 safe carry conditions, with the shotgun the only real safe carry condition is a full magazine tube, no round in the chamber. You could then leave the safety off or on, that is up to you. I sort of feel like with an empty chamber you don't need a safety on, unless it's more for preventative measures, you know, like if someone else were to get hold of your firearm, they might have a hard time chambering around and then trying to figure out how the hell the safety works. So yeah, but that is it. These I feel like are going to either be quicker or simpler, or I don't know, but because we've covered this before in the handgun videos, yeah, I do feel like it is going to be quite simple. Other than things that directly relate to the shotgun, like what I've done in this episode, we will be able to move through this quite quickly, I believe. So anyway, as always, please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you've got time, check out another video. Yeah, that is pretty much that. Peace out.